Within about 2 weeks, Governor Scott Walker is expected to announce whether or not he'll be running for president. Meanwhile, the list of Republicans campaigning for the nomination seems to be growing longer and longer each week. But as News 8's Kyle Dimke explains, even though he's not a candidate yet, Walker is still a front runner.
Well, Brittany, Governor Walker is one of the many speakers this weekend in Denver at the Western Conservative Summit. He's alongside several Republican presidential hopefuls that he may soon be competing against for the 2016 GOP nomination. Walker says he still is deciding whether or not to run, but political experts say he will, and he's got a good shot to win. Since late March, 13 Republicans with many different backgrounds have announced they're running for the GOP nomination for president in 2016. And there could still be 3 more candidates, one being Wisconsin Governor Scott Walker.
If you look at his travels, it's very clear that he is planning to run. He just hasn't publicly announced.
Walker has said he won't announce his 2016 plans until after the state's budget is signed. But that isn't stopping U.S. Republicans from backing Walker. In the latest Iowa caucus, Walker leads all Republicans by a big margin. Sharing his spotlight for the Democrats by an even bigger margin is Hillary Clinton. But political science professor Joe Heim says it's no surprise Walker is winning in the Hawkeye state.
He has an advantage in Iowa a little bit more than some of the other candidates. He's a governor from a neighboring state, so they know him from his actions over the last 4 or 5 years. He also was born and raised, at least spent a few years in Iowa.
In New Hampshire, another 2016 battleground state, polls show Walker near the top as well. The La Crosse County Republican Party chairman Bill Feehan believes Walker is doing well because he says the governor is a top contender for the GOP nomination.
Well, I think people all around the United States are aware of the reforms that the governor led here in our state, and they like what they see. And we're looking for the next Republican president to be reform-minded. So it's hard to beat Scott Walker's record when it comes to reform.
Neither Heim or Feehan think that becoming the 14th, 15th, or even 16th Republican candidate running will affect Walker's chances at the nomination.
You can assume that his odds, almost all the candidates have to be considered a little bit of a long shot because there's so many of them.
In fact, Heim believes Walker has more things working for him than against him.
Presidents that have done a little bit better have been people who have governed a state.
Feehan says having a big Republican field is a good thing for voters because it's a good representation of the party, and he believes the U.S. is ready for a Republican president.
It's very important that we elect a Republican president so that we can get pro-growth tax reform through the United States Congress and get this economy rolling again.
County Republican Party Chairman Bill Feehan says Governor Walker will make a decision the week of July 13th. The state's budget is supposed to be signed by July 1st, and political science professor Joe Heim says once that budget is complete, it will be much easier for Walker to campaign.
Okay, thanks so much, Kyle. Primary elections begin in February.